Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
It was a warm summer's day in 1970 when a 22-year-old Prince Charles locked eyes with Camilla Shand at a polo match in Windsor Great Park. As the future King of England, many likely spoke to Charles with a quiet, odd deference, but 24-year-old Camilla, who friends described as outgoing and cheerful, with a lust for life, wasn't afraid to crack a flirtatious gag at her own expense with a senior royal. "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather," she was said to have quipped. So how about it? This was the beginning of Charles and Camilla's royal romance, but what was initially described as a blissful and peaceful match soon erupted into a lifelong love affair which scandalized the nation, rocked the House of Windsor, and left commentators wondering whether Charles could ever be a suitable king. Proving his critics wrong, King Charles and Queen Camilla were crowned at Westminster Abbey on May 6, 2023 in an historic coronation ceremony watched by millions around the world. Breaking the mold as a former mistress who became a ma'am, Camilla has, over the decades, won over everyone she's met. In the years following the exposure of her affair with the then Prince Charles in 1992, Camilla has proven herself to be far more than the third person in the marriage between Charles and Diana. Take, for example, the offers from various Americans she's met, who discreetly tell her they can share the numbers of their plastic surgeons if she wants to have some work. Camilla happily retells this story, and hoots with laughter. Her natural demeanor even won over her once harshest critic, Queen Elizabeth, who initially blamed Charles's longtime love for the breakup of his unhappy marriage to Diana. When Charles and Camilla finally wed in April 2005, decades after their romance started in the 1970s, the date coincided with the Grand National, and Queen Elizabeth couldn't attend the ceremony because she had a horse running. But the Queen did make a speech at the reception later, and said she had two important announcements. The first was that Hedgehunter had won the race at Aintree. The second was that, at Windsor, she was delighted to be welcoming her son and his bride to the winner's enclosure. Queen Elizabeth added with a smile, "They have overcome Betcher's Brook and the chair and all kinds of other terrible obstacles. They have come through, and I'm very proud and wish them well. My son is home and dry with the woman he loves." Since then, Camilla, who has been described as a feminist icon by one commentator, has given the antiquated and sometimes detached monarchy some grounding, with her delightful and approachable personality, alongside a savvy PR strategy, helping her pave her way to public acceptance as the UK's new queen. Such a gregarious and outgoing nature was apparent even in her younger years. Born in 1947 to a well-to-do family, her father was an army major turned businessman, her mother a daughter of a baron. She split her days between her two homes in Sussex and Kensington. Describing her childhood as perfect, she forged extremely tight-knit relationships with her younger siblings Annabelle, now 73, and Mark, who died aged 62 in 2014, and her parents, spending her days horse riding and reading. As a young woman on the fringes of the aristocracy, Camilla was less interested in pursuing a career. For most young women of her class, finding a wealthy and influential husband was the main goal, which may be why Camilla was sent to a Swiss finishing school aged 16, before concluding her education in Paris. She wanted no more from life than to be happily married to an upper-class man and live a sociable life in the country with horses, dogs, children, and someone to look after them all and do the hard graft. Penny Junor explains in her book The Duchess, Camilla Parker Bowles and the Love Affair That Rocked the Crown. Her chance meeting with Charles looked like a safe bet, with the pair dating briefly after they first met in the 70s, but this blossoming romance was quickly quashed by unfortunate circumstances. Charles was going away for 8 months to serve in the Navy. Senior royals were also thought to be somewhat scathing about Camilla's suitability to be so closely tied to the heir to the throne. Charles's godmother, Patricia, 2nd Countess Mountbatten of Burma, was particularly cutting about the now Queen. Ma